So I wanted to talk a bit about sideboards and the strategy that one should use when building the sideboard. And to demonstrate it, I thought I'd pick two of the most opposite decks I could think of. A aggro Sabine, pretty straightforward, rush your base as fast as I can deck. And a Palpatine deck that's ultimate goal is to play Change of Heart, take control of your dude, and then sacrifice it with Palpatine's action. And hopefully to do that even cheaper with Bib Fortuna, right? So, very different decks. Let's start with the Sabine deck. For Sabine, when I'm thinking about sideboards, I'm going to be asking myself two questions. What's going to happen when I get a terrible matchup? And what's going to happen in a mirror match? And I'm going to try to prepare myself for that. So in Sabine, Wolf is an amazing sideboard card. You don't really want it in your main deck because it messes with For a Cause I Believe in a little bit. But when you're up against a Krennic or an Iden or something with a lot of healing, Wolf is absolutely incredible to shut that down and let you punch through. Disabling Fang Fighter is another one that helps against specific matchups. In my mind, most decks should probably have some sort of way to deal with upgrades in their sideboard because it can just absolutely hamstring a deck that's playing, let's say traders, for example. And then for the mirror match, I've got cards like Bright Hope, which in my mind basically just adds 6 health to the base, right? So extra copies there. More Rebel Assaults, because when it's a mirror, just getting that extra damage in a little quicker can be huge. And then maybe a couple Escort Skiffs. These are kind of a funny one, but you'd be amazed how amazing it can be when it can ambush in, uh, you know, kill a Fighters for Freedom or a Battlefield Marine, and then stick around to be an extra body on the field. So that's the sideboard for this deck. None of which will be needed when playing this Palpatine deck. This Palpatine deck is obviously extremely late game, right? So it's not really worried about mirror matches because no one's going to be crazy enough to play something this insane. So the sideboard is basically all early game stuff. I kept true to my word. There's still a confiscate in there to take off the occasional Jedi lightsaber. Uh, and then it's specifically built to basically try to get closer to handling Sabine, right? This deck really wants to play against a Luke deck or a Chirrut deck that's playing Obi-Wan's that it can change apart. It doesn't want to play against Sabine. So the Seasoned Sword Troopers turn into more healing with you, Lauren. We've got more Sentinels for the mid game. And then cards trying to eke out a little bit more value, right? Shoot first, outmaneuver, really stuff to slow it down. So, the way the rules of the game are written, you are not allowed to sideboard in cards before you start. You can only do it between games. But I'm going to play these two decks against each other and try sideboarding in some of the cards that we kept for Palpatine. And I'm going to be honest, I don't know that I expect it to be pretty, even with sideboarding in some of those cards. But I think that maybe we'll get a little bit closer. So we're gonna see how this goes. If I can get all the cards picked up. Palpatine is a funny one to try to make work. He's a horrible matchup for Sabine because he's literally defeating his own units, which she is fine with that. He's very, very late game, uh, but I would have no problems building this deck and taking it at least to a fun night, because if the change of heart ever works, it's going to be amazing, right? Change of heart, Obi-Wan, sacrifice him, give a couple experience to my own guy. The problem is, against Sabine, there's nothing really worth change of hearting. So we'll see how this goes. Alright, we'll flip for initiative. Sabine will obviously be good guys, so Palpatine's got it. Okay, perfect. Nothing to play. Try that one again. It's likely that I could have shuffled one or two more times, but this will work. Okay, no good to me dead. Amazing, but maybe not against Sabine. Waylay, amazing, but maybe not against Sabine. On this side, oof, wow. So we can Green Squadron into Wing Leader. We've got the Battlefield Marine. I think we need to resource one of these. Maybe both of them, actually, just because Guerrilla Attack part is kind of our closer. Alright, it's going to be Yularen first. And I think since we can trade so effectively into Yularen and get that healing off, we actually want to go Battlefield Marine. Claim, Sabine hits both bases for 1. And that's it. Okay. On this side, Boba and a Royal Guard look amazing. Super Laser Tech and Resupply is just probably too much. We're not going to be able to play all of that. Here, I think we stick with the Wing Leader plan, which means maybe we resource an A-Wing. Okay. I think we actually protect Yularen, heal 1 off the base, which was a good move for us. Alas, Wing Leader will make it slightly irrelevant, except for the fact that Yularen will stick around a little bit longer. Yularen can swing into base for 2. Battlefield Marine kills the Royal Guard and takes 3 back. Palpatine's gonna claim initiative. Sabine's gonna hit both bases. And that's it. Okay, going to 4. This is interesting. We could just get a Royal Guard again. I think that's what we want to do, honestly, is get the Royal Guard. Feels weird to resource Boba Fett, but it might be right. Let's try it. Okay, on this side, we don't need both red 3s. That one's easy. Okay, Royal Guard comes down, heals 1. We're annoyed, but we could get rid of the Sentinel anyhow if we wanted. The Battlefield Marine is 5/5 at the moment. I think we play red 3. The question is, does Yularen want to trade into the Battlefield Marine? I think the answer is yes, actually. He's going to swing in, taking him off. Spec Force Soldier comes down. Palpatine takes initiative. Wing Leader is going to hit base for 2. 1 to both bases from Sabine. Upgrade this to a 5. Sabine comes out and hits base for 3. Uh, 4. And actually, I think I shorted myself one on Wing Leader as well from red 3. Okay, let's go again. All right, we're resourcing to 5. I think we kind of need to. Well, there's probably not many good options on this side. We can ambush, but that's not getting us much. It's probably game over. Let's get rid of the change of heart, seeing as how that's definitely not going to help us. And then on this side, we can probably resource the defender, actually. All right. So Palpatine's up. The Royal Guard needs to take out this Spec Force soldier just to prevent some damage. I think that at this point, red 3 probably swings for 3. Now's when we do have to figure out what we're going to play. I think all the options are so bad. We could waylay the red 3. They'd probably just play him again. I think we're just going to go for endgame and play the super laser tech. At that point, Wing Leader's going to swing in for 3 before he dies. Palpatine will use his ability, defeat the super laser tech, and draw a card, kill the Wing Leader. Sabine swings in for 3 on base. So we're going to pull off 7, upgrade that to a 10. Palpatine just claims. That's all he's got. And then I think Sabine uses ECL to bring in the Steadfast Battalion, ambushing the Royal Guard, who had 3 left. And this is hitting for 7, so that spills 4 over onto base. So we're up to 22. Then Medal Ceremony. Alright. Next round. See what happens. Alright, so on this side, we did get up to 7. Interestingly, we could steal the Battlefield Marine, or the Steadfast Battalion, I mean. Here, I think we can resource Benthic. Seems fine. Let's see. Unfortunately, the Skiff's ambush is not big enough. Change of Heart and Greedo? Maybe? Or the Change of Heart, Zack. Get him out of here. It's still Greedo. Let's resource this. Okay. Palpatine's up. We're going to Change of Heart, Steadfast Battalion. At this point, Sabine knows she's got to get her attack in. So she comes in 4 total. Steadfast Battalion will kill her. Actually, no. Sorry, she has an experience. Steadfast Battalion will do no such thing. I guess he'll swing for 5 on her. And then Fleet Lieutenant comes in, and that's game over. 5 more from red 3. Okay. So, pretty ugly. Palpatine did a grand total of 5 damage. And we knew our change of hearts were bad in this matchup. We knew we weren't going to get to use them. So we're going to try sideboarding in some different tech to deal with that. And I think we probably want everything in here except for the confiscate. So we're actually going to sideboard in 9 cards for what we have here. And it still might not be amazing, but the change of hearts are out. Let's pull out 3. Well, 4, 5, 6, 7. Got 2 more cards that we can pull out. You know, honestly, maybe resupply. 8, 9. We're probably not getting to Palpatine. Sometimes you just get bad matchups. So we threw a whole lot more itty bitty guys in there. And we'll see what happens. Palpatine gets to go first again because he lost. And no turn 1 play again, even with all those smaller guys. I think there are only a couple more turn 1 plays. Well, when it's bad, it's bad. We could probably just call this, game 2, just to make it interesting. I am going to give him another shot until he gets something he can play, just so we get a fair fight. Okay, that's reasonable. And then Sabine has a reasonable hand as well. So that's probably our play. We don't need 2 of these. And I don't think we need this. Okay. Palpatine doesn't need 2 Bosks. And all of that is quite nice. I think we don't need the Greedo. Alright. Crafty Smuggler comes in for 2. Battlefield Marine comes in for 2. Initiative pass. Okay, we're planning on playing the Royal Guard. And maybe trading in with the Crafty Smuggler. Unfortunately, it's not going to work because of the Wing Leader. I think we're gonna hope that we don't need the outmaneuver. We're just gonna keep all these little bodies. And on this side, we probably don't need Bright Hope. Okay, so the Smuggler comes in for 2, loses the shield. When we figure out it was a bad deal. The Wing Leader. We can no longer trade. So he's a 5. We could Royal Guard, but if we play Cellbot Guard, who is actually a Sentinel now, he would have to trade with us, which we like. think Sabine is angry. She just pings bases. Palpatine claims at this point. And it's a question of whether or not the battlefield marine should swing. If no, we could try to ambush K2, kill the battlefield marine, or kill the cell block guard, and then battlefield marine can swing. But Palpatine's probably just going to kill the battlefield marine anyhow, with the cell block guard, since he gets to go first. I think we just take him out. Maybe that's a bad move, but I think we're going to have to eat through him at some point. All right, next round. All right, probably don't need 2 gorilla attack pods here. And on this side, resourcing to 4. We've got a Sabine killer, and actually we can kill Wing Leader if we're willing to sacrifice the crafty smuggler. So I think it's this. And I'm all about preventing damage as Palpatine. So we're going to spend 1, sack the crafty smuggler to kill Wing Leader, and draw a card. Sabine, probably, she'll deal 1 damage to both bases. Boba comes out. Sabine deploys. We take initiative. K2 comes out, and Sabine hits base for 3. We could Metal Ceremony. It's not super relevant. Just because Boba still kills her if she's attacked first. So I think we pass on that for now. Okay. Draw again. We're resourcing to 5, which is maybe Bosk, maybe a Royal Guard, and a Yularen. I think that's amazing. I actually think Yularen is so important in this fight that we keep one for later. I'm tempted to ditch the 7th Fleet Defender. At this point, if we lose in space, we lose in space. And on this side, resourcing to 5, probably making them pay in space. Let's resource this guy. Okay, so Palpatine is first, and I think we play the Royal Guard for 3. At which point, red 3 comes down. Then Yularen hits the field for 2, and heals base for 1. And you could ask, why wouldn't I play Yularen first? And the answer is because then they would just kill him. So by playing the Royal Guard, now I have a defender. Alas, K2, because of the raid 1, can take out the Royal Guard and only take 3 back. The question is, do we kill him with Boba Fett? Or do we pass? And I think the answer is we kill him with Boba Fett. Take none back. He's going to trigger his 3 on base. This is pretty impressive for how late in the game we are. How little damage we have here. Alright, Sabine hits base for 3. 4. because I remember red 3. And then the X-Wing comes out, and now we Metal Ceremony Sabine. No, we still don't Metal Ceremony Sabine. We're going to wait for the X-Wings to attack. Okay, that's it. Resourcing up to 6. So we don't need 2 red 3s, so we're resourcing to play our Gorilla Attack Pod on this side. On this side, boy, we got some good options. Resourcing to 6 means we get Vader next turn anyhow. I think we resource the Super Laser Technician. Yeah, I think so. Okay. First over here. So we could Bosk. Doesn't get us a whole bunch at the moment. Bosk is probably the play that we want. Maybe we just attack base for 2 with Yularen. Or we could smack Sabine. Maybe we smack Sabine and see if she's silly enough to not attack. But at this point, Boba would kill her, so I think she does attack for 3. Let's get a 10 on there and pull 7 off. So Boba will take her out. Taking none back. Nope, she attacks for 4, because I still remember that. Alright. Red 3's gonna hit base for 3. Up to 18. Bosk still has nothing to ambush, which is kind of sad. Let's do 7th Fleet Defender for 3. Alliance X-Wing hits base for 3 more. We're at 21. I see no reason not to use Palpatine to sacrifice Yularen to draw a card and deal a damage to probably the X-Wing. Now the Gorilla Attack Pod comes in. Yularen comes back to heal 1, and Attack Pod hits base for 4. Okay. Then Metal Ceremony the ships. And next round. Alright, we're resourcing to 7 on this side, which could be Vader. Alas, Vader is not enough to stop things yet. He would just turn the attack pod into something massive. We could Gamorrean and Waylay as well. Right now they need to do 6. If we play the Gamorreans, it would have to attack into the Gamorreans. We can always snag initiative. So I think, well, no matter what, we're resourcing Bosk. And then on this side, I don't think we need to resource. Alright, let's see what Palpatine is thinking here. Red 3 actually also hits for 4. We got 4 a bunch of different ways. I think we kill this X-Wing. Hits for 3, just to limit options. At that point, I think red 3 hits base for 4. Two away. So we have to Gamorreans the attack pod. The attack pod. Well, let's just play Battlefield Marine for now. At which point I think Boba kills the Battlefield Marine, taking 3 back. Then we play a Pathfinder, which is not great. So we have to waylay red 3. And then I think all that happens is Sabine claims, and then the Pathfinder is going to do it. So Sabine, because we have no way to kill the Pathfinder, and he can Saboteur in. So Sabine still won. Didn't even use the energy conversion lab. But you could see it was a whole lot closer in a really, really bad matchup for Palpatine. So that's some of the power of sideboards. So I hope that's helpful.